the hillbilly honeymoon hoax. Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer who barely kept his family fed. And then one day, he was shooting at some food, and up to the ground come a bumbling crude. Oil, that is. Black gold. Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed is a millionaire. The kinfolk said, "Jed, move away from there." Said, "California is the place you ought to be." So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. The Beverly Hillbillies. The sun had not yet risen over the grand mansion in Beverly Hills, but the air was already thick with the scent of adventure, confusion, and impending matrimony. Jed Clampett, a man of profound patience and rustic wisdom, paced the manicured driveway in the quiet hours of the night. The stars were still blinking down at the massive stone structure that the hillbilly family now called home. Suddenly, a small figure shuffled through the shadows, carrying a battered suitcase and looking over his shoulder like a thief in the night. It was Shorty, a man whose terror of the altar was currently outmatching his common sense. Jed caught sight of him immediately. "Where are you going, Shorty?"
"Oh, Jed."
"Going?" "Yeah, you are not running out on Mary and Alberta, are you?"
"Me? No.
"We are driving to Las Vegas at daybreak to tighten the knot." Jed looked up at the sky, which was completely dark save for the silver glow of the moon. He tilted his hat back and pointed upward. "It is only 2 o'clock. Ridiculous, you say. That must have been the moon that come up. I thought it was the sun. You can get yourself another 4 hours of sleep." "Good idea. I will do that." "Night, Jed." "Night, Shorty." Shorty nodded quickly, turned around on his heel, and scurried back toward the house with his suitcase clutched tightly against his chest. Jed watched him go, shaking his head with a gentle smile, knowing full well that the night was young and Shorty was desperate. Not 20 minutes had passed before the bushes near the side porch began to rustle violently. Jed, who had remained outside to enjoy the cool night air, stepped closer to the shrubbery. Out crawled Shorty on his hands and knees, dragging his suitcase behind him through the expensive mulch. "Where are you going, Shorty?"
"Oh, Jed."
"Going?"
"Yeah."
"Oh, I was practicing Alberta and me slipping away in the early morning so as not to wake the family." "Oh, you do not have to worry about that. We are always up before daybreak."
"Oh, well."
"That relieves my mind. Now I can sleep."
"Good."
"Night, Jed." "Night, Shorty." Shorty retreated once more, but his spirit was far from broken. He waited until the clock struck 3 in the morning before attempting his third and most daring escape, this time trying to utilize the shadow of the large oak tree near the eastern wing of the house. He did not get 3 paces before Jed stepped out from behind the trunk. "Where are you going, Shorty?" "Jed, do you never sleep?"
"I was just about to ask you that."
"What are you doing this time?" I decided it would be real romantic if Alberta and me be alone." "Wouldn't it be even more romantic if you took Alberta along?"
"Hey, doggies."
"I knew I forgot something." "Well, night, Jed."
"Night, Shorty."
Shorty finally gave up for the night, realizing that Jed Clampett was an impossible man to bypass when it came to keeping guard over a groom. When the true daybreak finally arrived, the house became a hive of activity. The smell of frying bacon and fresh coffee filled the massive kitchen, blending the scents of the hills with the luxury of Beverly Hills. Alberta Bradshaw stood in the center of the kitchen, dressed in her finest traveling suit, her face glowing with the anticipation of a woman about to secure her husband. Mayor Heller stood beside her, looking official and pleasant. "Good morning, Alberta. Happy wedding day." "Oh, thank you, Mayor Heller. Is the groom up yet?" "Oh, I do not know. I did not think it was proper for me to enter his room unchaperoned." "I will check on him, Alberta."
"Thank you, Shad."
"Wake him gently." "Oh, I will." "What a shame Mayor Heller has a wife. You two could come with us and make it a double wedding." "Oh, I am too old to think of getting married." "Yes, I suppose you are right." Just then, the back door swung open and Ellie Mae walked in, followed closely by a very large, very furry companion. "Morning, everybody." "Hello, Ellie dear. Cousin Bessie and me want to wish you a happy wedding day, Miss Bradshaw." "Well, thank you." Granny, who was busy hovering over a large skillet on the stove, turned around with a wooden spoon in her hand and an expression of pure outrage on her face. "Ellie Mae, you know I do not like varmints in my kitchen. Now take it outside." "Well, Bessie, I am not a varmint. She is my friend." "Well, take your friend outside." "Yes, ma'am. Give me a kiss." "Oh, dear sweet thing." Ellie Mae hugged the large animal tightly before leading it out toward the patio. Alberta watched the display with a mixture of pity and condescension, shaking her head as she adjusted her hat. "Oh, what a shame she is to lavish her affection on animals." "What do you mean?" "Well, she has no man and no prospects. Doomed to be an old maid. And here I am getting married for the second time in my age." Granny paused her stirring, squinting her eyes as she inspected Alberta from head to toe. "Just what age is that, Alberta?" "Between us, Granny, I will never see 40 again." "Did you catch a glimpse of 50 as you passed him?" Alberta sniffed loudly, choosing to ignore the old woman's sharp tongue, and focused her attention back on the hallway where the men were supposed to be rousting the groom. Upstairs, the situation was far less dignified. Shorty was buried deep beneath 3 layers of heavy blankets, snoring loudly and pretending that the world outside did not exist. Shad and Jethro stood over the bed, looking down at the tightly wrapped bundle of panic. Jethro leaned over and shook the lump. "Shorty, wake up."
Shorty.
"What is the trouble, Shad?" "I cannot wake the bridegroom." "Well, from the look of that smile on his face, he must be having one awful happy dream. I bet you he is dreaming about that bachelor party last night. You cannot hardly blame him. Just a dry day he will throw at a humdinger. Yeah, Shorty is a chic and he is herring girls. Wake up, kid." Shorty blinked his eyes open, looking around the opulent bedroom with utter confusion and terror. Where am I? What day is this?" "This is the day you marry Alberta Bradshaw."
Come on.
"Get up. Have a heart, fellas." "I cannot marry Alberta." "Why not?" "Well, you missed that bachelor party last night. You saw all them pretty girls." "That is a lie for me. That is all over and done with now, Shorty." "Well, it does not have to be. We can have another bachelor party tonight."
Who for?
"Oh, Shad. He is single. We can have the party tonight, then get married tomorrow." "Who would I marry?" "I am glad you asked me that." "Never mind the answer. This is your wedding day, and your bride-to-be is waiting." Shorty swung his legs out of bed, his bare feet touching the polished marble floor. "That floor is cold. I am freezing." "Well, look on the bright side. Tonight you will be on your honeymoon." "Yeah, and you can snuggle up nice and cozy with Alberta Bradshaw." That did it. The mention of Alberta's name seemed to act like an electric shock, sending Shorty bolting straight into the adjoining bathroom, where he slammed the door and turned the lock with a loud click. Downstairs, the minutes were ticking away, and Alberta was growing restless. Jed entered the upstairs hallway just as Jethro and Shad were pounding on the bathroom door. "Where is Shorty?" "Still in the bathroom." "Shorty, what do you want?" "Alberta is waiting for you." "Come on, hurry up." "What are you doing?" "I am shaving." "You have been shaving for an hour." "I got a dull razor." "It is not that dull." "If it is too dull, I cannot even cut my ribs." "Shorty, unlock this door and come out of there." "I will be out in a minute, Jed." Jethro pulled Jed aside, pointing out the hallway window with a look of sudden realization.
Jed, I just thought of something.
"What is that?" "This room is next to mine. There's a great big tree right outside the bathroom window." "That is right. Well, are you not afraid he will climb out the window and shimmy down the tree?"
Nope.
Jed smiled calmly, knowing he had already taken precautions. Before Jethro could question further, the heavy footsteps of Alberta Bradshaw echoed on the stairs. She marched into the hallway, her patience wearing incredibly thin. "Hi, Bradshaw."
May I come in?
"Where is my darling little fiancé?" "He is showering." "Shaving."
What?
"He is shaving." "Showering." "Well, which is it?" Jed stepped forward, flashing his most reassuring, neighborly smile to smooth over the contradiction. "Well, Alberta, Shorty is so anxious to see you he is shaving and showering at the same time." Alberta smiled, genuinely touched by this creative explanation. She stepped right up to the heavy wooden door and knocked loudly. "Hello in there. Who is that?" "This is your blushing bride. How soon can we leave to get married?" "Saturday till 8. "Saturday?" "Shorty dear, Wednesday is our wedding day." "Okay, see you next Wednesday." "Next Wednesday?" Alberta's jaw dropped, her romantic delusion briefly faltering. Jed quickly intervened again, placing a comforting hand near the door. "Alberta, Shorty is so thrilled and excited that he does not know what he is saying. That is the truth. The thought of marrying you has got him just paralyzed." "Paralyzed?" "With joy. That is it. Paralyzed with joy." "Oh, how sweet. Now you just leave Shorty to us." "Yeah, Alberta, we will have the bridegroom ready in no time." "No time at all. Thank you, boy." Alberta turned and floated back down the stairs, completely reassured. The moment her footsteps faded, Jed's face hardened into an expression of stern determination. "Shorty, what are you doing now?" "I am about to have myself a drink." "Drink of what?" "I found a bottle of alcohol." "Well, Shorty, do not drink that. That is rubbing alcohol. Yeah, that is poison. Do not go on it. I was hoping to get up enough nerve to fight that bear." "Forget it. You drink that stuff, it will kill you. So come on out and marry Alberta." "Gotta admit, that bee is dying, right, Shorty?"
Shorty?
"Shorty? I am thinking it over." The silence from the bathroom was deafening as Shorty weighed his options between the mysterious bottle and the impending nuptials. Meanwhile, across town in the towering, shiny glass building of the Commerce Bank, a completely different kind of chaos was unfolding. Milburn Drysdale, the anxious and money-obsessed bank president, was sitting at his grand desk, reviewing financial ledgers with a frown. His loyal but sarcastic secretary, Jane Hathaway, stood before him with a clipboard. The door opened slowly, and his assistant poked his head in. "Excuse me, Chief. You know, Miss Bell, the little slave girl secretary, you cheated out of the bonus? Now look, if I hear one more word about that lousy bonus, I will fire you, her, and the whole secretarial pool." "Oh, no, no, no. Chief, it is nothing like that. Miss Bell's little brother, Cookie, would like to meet you."
Oh.
"Well, send a little fella in. I will give him a free piggy bank." The door swung open fully, and in walked a towering, muscular man who looked like he could lift a small vehicle without breaking a sweat. Drysdale's eyes went wide, his jaw dropping as he looked up and up at the imposing figure. "This is her little brother?"
Yes.
"And her big brother would like to meet you, too."
Come in, sir."
Another massive man stepped into the room, filling the space with an aura of pure physical intimidation. They stood side by side, staring down at the trembling bank president. "What can I do for you, gentlemen? We understand you had a slave auction here last night." "Slave auction? Here?"
Me?
"That is what our sister told us." Drysdale chuckled nervously, his collar suddenly feeling very tight. He looked frantically at Miss Hathaway for assistance. "Oh, you must mean the fun slave auction. Doesn't look like much fun for the slaves. Who is this cat here?" The brother pointed a thick finger at a photograph on the desk showing Jethro in an elaborate costume from the previous night's bank party. "Well, that is the sheik who bought your sister. I mean, Miss Hathaway, explain the situation to these gentlemen." Miss Hathaway crossed her arms, offering a dry, unhelpful smile. "What do I know? I am just a camel driver. Thanks a lot." Drysdale glared at her before turning back to the formidable brothers with his best corporate smile. "Really, fellas, it was just a party. You see, these 3 secretaries volunteered to be make-believe slaves." "Just make-believe?" "Absolutely. It was just good, clean fun. Miss Hathaway, bring in the 3 slaves." "Secretaries." "At once, lass. Makes sense of humor." To break the tension, Drysdale tried to make small talk with the 2 giants. "Well, what do you fellas do?" "I play professional football." "Oh, say, that is my favorite sport. You play too?" "No, I am not big enough." Miss Hathaway returned, leading the 3 young women who had worked the party the night before. "Here are the slaves, master." "I would appreciate it, Miss Hathaway, if you would stop joking. Now, gentlemen, what is it you want to see me about?" "About you selling our sister as a slave." And about that $100 bonus you owe her.
Fine.
Now, which one is your sister? Drysdale scanned the three women, completely lost. The football players looked at him with narrow eyes. Are you kidding me? Well, not at all. Will the sister of these gentlemen please step forward? The young African-American secretary stepped out from the group, with a smirk. Drysdale blinked, looking between her and the brothers. She the one? You didn't think that maybe the black girl would be our sister? Well, didn't you know I am completely colorblind? Oh, Miss Hathaway, make yourself at home. Take out my personal check to this young lady for $100. Yes, sir. No, not the green folder, the red one. Well, as you football players know, you cannot win them all. Drysdale sighed, signing the check quickly to rid his office of the terrifying athletic presence. Back at the Clampett estate, the preparation for the grand departure was nearing completion. In the driveway stood the family truck, heavily decorated for the occasion. Jethro and Shad were putting the finishing touches on it, using old tin cans and hand-painted signs. Oh, gone you Shad Heller. You had to be a blacksmith. How do you like the way Ellie and me decorated up the honeymoon car? Looks real nice. Las Vegas or bust. You like it, huh? Hope Shorty does not think it gives him a choice. He would take bust. Come look at the sign I put on the back. Oh, darn boy, that is jumping the gun. Yeah, they will not be married until they get to Las Vegas. I took care of that. On the way there, they just closed this down like that. Ellie Mae and Alberta came out onto the porch to admire the vehicle. Oh, Ellie, how lovely. Thank you, dear. You're welcome, Miss Bradshaw. Ready to go, Alberta? Just as soon as Shorty is ready. Well, I will go looking on him. Last time I seen him, he was still tied up. Jethro and Jed walked back up to Shorty's room, where the reluctant groom was currently tied to a heavy wooden chair, looking thoroughly defeated but still searching for an escape clause. Come on, Jed, have a heart. Nothing doing, Shorty. You are not getting loose until you are ready to drive to Las Vegas and marry Alberta. Listen, Jed, you know that old mule of mine you always admired so much? Stop wasting your breath. I have already turned down $20 cash in your car. I will throw in Alberta. What would I do with her? I do not know, but if you think of something, tell me. Jed walked over and began untying the ropes, looking at his old friend with an earnest expression. Well, Shorty, the time has come. Now, cheer up. Will you see what Jethro and Ellie have done to your car? Burned it. Wrecked it.
Shorty.
Was Alberta in it? Your car is in perfect shape, and so is Alberta. I believe that about my car, but it was never true of Alberta. Shorty, if you feel that way, why did you ask Alberta to come out here and marry you? I had not seen a woman in 4 weeks. I had been hiding in Granny's room cellar. But when I seen all them pretty girls again, I changed my mind. Forget about them girls, Shorty. Alberta has got everything they got. I wonder where she keeps it. Now, stop that kind of talk. You are getting a fine woman. That is the truth. You and Alberta was made for one another. Don't forget, she owns the Silver Dollar City Hotel now, and you two can run it together. You will be a dandy team. You will be the happiest two birds in the net. You really think so, fellas? Absolutely. No question about it. Shorty's expression softened slightly as he began to contemplate the financial and practical benefits of the union. I was getting tired running the hotel by myself, doing all the cooking and cleaning. Alberta will handle that. She is a dandy cook and hard worker.
You're gonna have a saw from now on.
My golly, that must sound pretty good. A soft knock came at the door, and Alberta's smiling face appeared in the opening.
Come in.
Is my bridegroom ready? I am ready, Alberta. He is just a mite nervous. Oh, you must not be, darling. We're gonna be so happy together. I hope you are right, Alberta. And here is a little sample of the happiness in store for you. She stepped forward and planted a massive, loud kiss right on Shorty's lips, lifting him slightly off his feet. But tonight, there will be more where that came from. Alberta turned and left the room to wait by the truck. Shorty stood frozen, his eyes wide and blinking. Well, Shorty, I reckon I have clinched it. You sure did. Fire me up again. Back at the Commerce Bank, Milburn Drysdale was pacing his office, trying to recover his composure after the stressful morning. Jane Hathaway entered with a stack of paperwork, looking entirely unfazed by the recent events. Well, Chief, you seem calm and collected after your little scare. Scare? Did I look scared? Terrified. Now, listen. I did not want to start anything in front of a woman. But you should have heard what I told those guys after you left the room. What did you tell them? I told them it was all your fault. Thanks a lot. Miss Hathaway dropped a folder of invoices onto his desk with a heavy thud. And here are the bills for last night's party. Drysdale opened the folder and nearly choked on his breath. Holy smoke. How am I going to explain these to the board of directors? Oriental tapestries. Slave girl costumes. Gold chains. Tell them you were photographing an ad for the bank. Photographing an ad? Well, you got the pictures. It is a natural. Beautiful slave girls in chains.
Your motto?
Don't be a slave to debt. Save your money at the Commerce Bank. Beautiful. Fabulous. It is a great idea. It is good enough to actually use. I think so. All you have to do is pay the 3 girls. Nuts to that. I have already paid one of them. See, that is it. We will reshoot the picture with just Jean. Now get her back in that slave girl's outfit right away. Right, Chief. And, Miss Hathaway, I am going to ask the board of directors to okay a raise for that ad idea. Chief, that is wonderful. What is so wonderful? It will probably put me in a new tax bracket. Back at the Clampett mansion, the bags were finally loaded into the back of the truck. Alberta stood by the passenger side, looking out over the beautiful estate while Jed stood beside her, offering some parting hospitality. You will be right down, Alberta. You will be on your way to Las Vegas in 2 minutes. You know, I have never been to Las Vegas. And Granny tells me they have gambling there. That is what I hear. Every kind you can think of. I certainly hope Shorty will not be tempted to gamble. If there is one thing I cannot tolerate, it is gambling. With some folks, it is a regular sickness. I know. Right in my own family, a happy marriage was broken up because of gambling. Really, Alberta? My Aunt Bertha married a man who was the picture of propriety. Sober, hardworking, church-going. Together, they saved a small fortune. And in one poker game, they was completely wiped out. What a shame.
Yes.
Aunt Bertha was lucky in love with a lousy poker player. Shorty came walking out of the front door, wearing his best hat and looking surprisingly energized. Let us go, Alberta. I cannot wait to get to Las Vegas. We will go crank up the car for you, Shorty. Come on, Jethro. I will go with you, fellas. Jethro and Jed walked ahead to the front of the truck. Alberta, honey, we are all alone. How about another one of them kisses? Oh, devil. Make it a steamer, baby.
Shorty.
That was a scorcher. As Alberta embraced him fiercely, a deck of playing cards slipped out of Shorty's breast pocket and scattered across the gravel driveway. Alberta pulled back, her eyes narrowing as she looked down at the floor. There goes my poker deck.
What?
I cannot leave without that. Shorty Callums, don't tell me you play poker. Poker, blackjack, gin, rummy, pinochle, you name it. If it is for money, I will play it. Shorty, darling, please don't play cards. Okay, honey baby, we will shoot craps. 8 is my point. There is a 5.
Cover it.
Shorty reached into his other pocket, pulled out a pair of dice, and began shaking them vigorously in his hand, throwing them onto the hood of the truck. Shorty, darling, what has gotten into you? That old gambling fever has got me. I did not know you were a gambler. I was about cured, but I thought you were going to Las Vegas and brought it back.
No.
There is a deuce that says, I make my point the hard way. Fade me, baby. Alberta stared at him in utter horror, her dreams of a stable, hard-working husband vanishing into thin air as Shorty continued to shake the dice with an erratic, joyful grin. Meanwhile, in a private studio room at the Commerce Bank, Drysdale was setting up a photographic backdrop. He was dressed in an outrageous villain costume, complete with a dark cape. Miss Hathaway walked in, leading Jean, who was reluctantly wearing her costume from the previous evening. Miss Bell has agreed to pose for the bank advertisement, Chief. Oh, good. And you will represent the villain. That is it. How do I look? Not villainous enough, strange as it may seem. You should have a black hat, black mustache, and a black cape. That is a good idea. I will be right back. Drysdale adjusted his cape and turned to the young secretary, trying to direct the scene professionally. All right. Did Miss Hathaway tell you what this picture is about? Not completely. Well, it is an ad for the bank, and the idea is don't be a slave to debt. Now, you will be kneeling with your hands like this, pleading with me, the villain debt. Like this? That is right. And I will be standing over you with a whip like so. Please, master, don't hit me.
Please don't hit me.
Suddenly, the heavy double doors of the studio burst open. In walked the two massive football-playing brothers, their expressions dark and menacing as they witnessed the bank president brandishing a whip over their kneeling sister. I wouldn't hit her with that if I were you.
Hi, Phyllis.
I guess this looks kind of incriminating for a bank president. I don't know much about bank presidents. How about you, Earl? I don't either. But I will tell you one thing. I wouldn't want my sister to marry one. Drysdale froze midair, his whip poised ridiculously above his head, realizing that corporate advertising was far more dangerous than he had anticipated. Back at the Clampett driveway, Alberta was furiously grabbing her suitcases out of the back of the truck, throwing them onto the gravel with immense indignation. It is all off.
What?
I don't dare go to Las Vegas with Shorty.
Why?
He is an inveterate gambler. Well, these ways he is not a Yankee gambler. Jethro, please come and talk to him. Maybe you could help cure him of the sudden attack of gambling fever. Shorty ignored the shouting entirely, dropping to his knees on the gravel and rolling the dice against the truck tire with pure enthusiasm. 11, come 11. Be good, Timmy Dice.
Feed me somebody.
Jed and Jethro stood side by side, watching Alberta storm down the driveway toward a waiting taxi, leaving Shorty completely alone with his dice and his newfound freedom. That Shorty is a hard rascal to reel in, Jed.
Yeah.
Looks like he done spit the hook again. About to become crime's #1 mother.
What are you looking at?
An all-new James O. Till Death Do Us Part premieres Friday night at 9 on Hallmark Channel. The afternoon sun finally broke through the clouds, casting a warm, golden glow over the Beverly Hills mansion, leaving the hillbillies to enjoy another day of unexpected peace, quiet, and rustic chaos.